Hi class and Assalamualaikum. Uh, Today we will cover the last chapter of the software project management, chapter 13, project close out. Yeah. So as I mentioned in lab, in the last lab, so there is a closing project, how we want to close a project, and every project must be closed accordingly. Yeah, because a project is a temporary work, a temporary task, uh, where it got the start date and end date. Is different with the operational job, like a factory. So their production is continuously uh, run and produce the finished product for the customer. So for the software project or other civil project which is involved, uh, which is end in 1 year or 2 year, so it must be uh, have a start and end date. So project closeout is very important because we want to ensure that all the deliverable and all the product to be produced to the customer is delivered accordingly. So for this chapter, we will cover uh, introduction. So what is the closeout of the project? And then we discuss on the purpose of the closeout, step closing the project, the checklist, what to do in the project closeout, and what is the deliverable for close the project. Okay, as I mentioned previously, solar projects are much like bus trip, uh, like building the house, highway, and bridge. So they need to be completed successfully. You have a new house, for example. So you buy the new house. You will start from the beginning, from the cleaning of the space and until the building is completed and painted carefully. So there is a example. Some structurally beautiful bridge will not be attractive. You cannot seen very beautiful if it left still gray, yeah, with unpainted well, and the most beautiful house, for example, will suffer, is surrounded by the yard of mud upon completion. Yeah. So the developers, before they deliver the key to you to get into the house, so of course they will clean up, do some cleanup to the house project before they hand in the key to the customer. So same like a software project, so you need to do a cleanup. For example, you need to prepare all the script. You need to prepare all the documentation to be delivered, such as user guide, user trainings, transfer of technology. Yeah, that's all are the information, a very important information to be delivered to the customer before you left to other project. So a software project requires that all tasks be completed and then delivered effectively to gain the positive feedback the team has worked so hard to get. Yeah. And the smallest detail gone away during delivery can set the wrong impression of a project. Uh, yeah, that is uh, very important remarks. Yeah, uh, if you left your project with a small defect, so it will affect your image forever. For example, so once your project is closed So you need to close all the pending work or pending deliverable accordingly, so that your name or your company name will get a good feedback, because this world is very small. The IT world in Malaysia is very small. Uh, yeah, when you run the company, of course your company need to be sustained. You cannot run a business for 1 year or 2 years only. Yeah, so maybe your company should be run in 1 or 2 generation, 3 generation or 7 generation. So the image is very important. It's like when you look at the Microsoft, yeah, Oracle, HP, Dell, so they're very careful with their name, their quality, in terms of the product deliverable, so that they can sustain until now. Yeah, and the product is awaiting by the customer worldwide. Yeah. So this can give an example. For example, you develop your software in development environment. Of course, all the uh, URL address is a local host. So when you move to the production, you forgot to change to the actual host name. For example, www.bitp32223.com. So this is the actual local host URL name for the production. So, but suddenly you forgot to change the URL name is still localhost. So when the user start to click or start to browse the actual URL name, so they will never get the uh, system. Okay. So the purpose of close out the project is to terminate the project. Close out and then you terminate the project. Why you need to terminate? Because the contract is to terminate the project when uh, the period of the project is finished. Yep. So because you need to terminate the project because the budget is for certain period only. So you cannot drag it into a certain period. Yeah. So that's why the project schedule is very important for project manager to take care and to control, to monitor, so that you can deliver according to the agreed timeline. Yep. Another purpose is to get formal customer acceptance. Yep. The final status assessment is prepared for the project acceptance review and finally get for formal customer acceptance of the software product. I mean, they get the formal customer acceptance, so the system you deliver is accepted, so it will consider successful project. Yeah. Of course, yeah, every deliverable you need to get the sign off. For example, sign off for SDP, so development plan. Before you continue to the next phases, for example, uh, before you go to analysis phases or stage, you need to get the sign off for software development plan. Yeah, because the software development plan is to lay out, is a framework for the development of the project. So if you don't get the sign off of the SDP, so development plan, so how you want to plan and how you want to uh, execute your project according to the plans. Yeah, because we don't want the the we don't want the problem. We don't want a problem in the middle of the project. Maybe the customer disagree with the plan. So when you are in the analysis stage or analysis phase, so you will produce certain deliverable. Yeah, each of the phase should have a deliverable, and each of the deliverable should got the sign off. So that is a also the customer acceptance. And before the final product uh, to be delivered, so you need to get the uh, acceptance of, for example, I think the last acceptance is a user acceptance test acceptance. So that after you complete the series of tests, then you need to get the user acceptance test. After you get this UAT sign off, then you can move the product or your system to the production. And then lastly is the purpose of the closeout is disposing of the remaining asset and reassigning the remaining stuff. Yeah, of course. You buy the hardware, software for the project. Yeah, you buy let's say 50 desktop for your developer to develop the software. Then after this project or a project finish, then you need to get back the you need to bring the desktop to your company. Maybe it can be used to other projects. And all the asset, whatever printer, router, uh, stationery, and so on, you need to dispose, or you need to reuse it to for other project. So this is a step how to close the project. So first you need to update the project closeout plan and schedule activity. So you need to go back to the software development plan and update the Gantt chart, update the schedule, and then schedule final configuration audit. Final configuration audit, that means you check what are the configuration management that's still in pending. Yeah? Uh, have you checked out all the documentation that you developed during the project? Have you complete all the document that's still pending, or have you deliver all the documentation, or have you uh, update the latest software versions of your system? Because uh, at the end of the project, before you move to the production, you will build a new version of your software. Yeah, maybe you have alpha version, beta version, and production version. So this is very important that you do a final configuration audit on your software version. And then you need to conduct a project post-mortem review. Post-mortem means you ask uh, one or two of your project leader to do a post-mortem regarding on the application, on the chain management, for example, on the everything, yeah, that you promise to your customer. Yeah? And this all table out, spell out in the SDP document. Okay, and then you need to complete a certain action item. Like I said previously, you need to make sure that all the deliverable get the sign off, because this is very important for you to build the customer. Yeah. So uh, all the remaining sign off you need to catch up and ask the user to sign off. Yeah. And then close out the project. You mean you close out the project, maybe you uh, do some ceremony, eh, and you get the final user acceptance sign off, and then maybe we write a letter to thanks to the customer for their collaboration and for their cooperation to the project. And then this is the general step in closing a successful project. Get a client acceptance of the deliverable. This I already repeated. I repeat again and again. Get the acceptance. Sign off. Ensure all the deliverables are installed. Ensure the documentation is in place. Get client sign off on final report. Conduct post implementation audit and celebrate the success. Okay. So if your project is failed, yeah, so exclude the last one. Don't celebrate this. Don't celebrate. You maybe you celebrate the fail. Okay. So checklist in the close out the project. So before you close the project, you need to list all the tasks or list all the item to be disposed or to be bring back to your office or bring to other uh, project. Yeah. So you need to ensure the project is formally accepted. All contracted deliveries has been made and accepted. Make sure that project finance is settled. Making sure all payment have been received and all suppliers and subcontractor is paid. Yeah. So you deal with the third party subcontractor, for example, the network the network provider, for example. Maybe you subcon to the contractor A to do the uh, network infrastructure installation, so you need to pay them. Or you deal with the server supplier, or computer desktop supplier, so you need to pay them. Make sure because they also run the business, so they need the money to pay their overhead. And then you need to archiving all the project, uh, all the documentation and report or record are well archived. So make sure that you archive or you save all your product, including the software, the documentations, a diagram, and everything. So you need to archive into a certain repository, that so that you can refer later for other project purposes. Another one is transferring any remaining hardware or an environment asset to the owning organization pool of asset. So some of your asset uh, or inventory can be uh, can be pooled by other project as well. So you need to transfer the project measurement to the corporate historical database and project knowledge for future project. This is I already mentioned. You same like archiving, uh, and then inform the project corporate. Uh, so this is project A repository. So when they want to use or reuse the documentation or the experience of the project, so the project member can refer to that repository. Reassign remaining project staff. So when the project A finish, then project B will be start, for example, or they already started. Then maybe the staff requirement is there, so you can transfer from the project A, which is already closed, to the project B. Yeah. So this is what they call it, the mobilization of the staff in the company. Yeah, to make sure or to ensure that your staff got work, got job, uh, and we can sustain our staff in the company. So most of project can accommodate a gradual ramp down of staff level and allow a smoother transition of staff to other projects. So this should not be done drastically. Yeah, yeah. You can reduce your staff. Maybe project A, lot of staff is a contract base. So after the project finish, then the staff will be terminated. So you need to creative enough how to mobilize the staff to other project. So this is very important that the project manager need to talk or need to discuss uh, with other project so that they can reuse the staff, existing staff, which is we already developed their skill. Yeah. So if we terminate them, then this is one of the waste effort. We waste the effort, we waste the time to develop them to become a good programmer or good software developer. Yeah. So we need to upkeep this uh, skill or the staff skill for the future project of the company. Okay, deliverables during handover of the project, documentation, user documentation, including technical and also the uh, quick reference. User training, you need to develop the training or you need to design the training contents. Development support during live transition, on-site or off-site. So you must prepare or you must reserve uh, two or three staff uh, who can support the user at the site. Yeah, at the site. Maybe within 3 months or within 6 months. Yeah, so that you can make sure that the system can work accordingly. And when the user got problem or confusings during using the system, so we can support immediately. Yeah? We cannot delay the issue or problems. So when you delay the problems, so you will get the uh, chaos, chaos of the issue. So you need to uh, stop. Yeah? The problem become a big issue. Okay, and then the procedure for tracking system errors, example, support procedure, problem database, or frequently asked questions. So this need to be prepared, yeah, before you deliver your system. Uh, Hopefully, all the procedure and reference can get online. Yeah. So nowadays, all the support of the system you can see in the famous system. So all support or all reference is online. Yeah? And then help desk support. Do you need to set up help desk unit? So this is depend on the budget. If the requirement of the project ask for help desk, so you need to set up or create the help desk system or help desk uh, personnel. To receive the report or to receive the issue so that the help desk will escalate to the technical person if they cannot resolve on the spot. But this is very important. Yeah? Not only you develop the software, but the most important thing that when the software is implemented and run, so there is a support for ensure the user can use the system accordingly. Yep. Okay. Are you deliver or whatever? So you must make sure that your project is deliver. All deliverable is deliver. All the functionality is deliver. all the non-functionality also delivered. Yeah, and make sure that your system 99.9% delivered according to the specification of the agreed specification or user requirement at the beginning of the project. So I think this is the project closeout is very important. Although you are fail or success, so you need to close the project. So sometimes the project considered success if you manage it accordingly. Yeah. So make sure that you plan well, you do a control of the project, you do a monitoring of the project, make sure the budget is controlled. Yeah. Don't hire unnecessary staff. So you make sure that the salary is according to the market, and don't overpaid or underpaid. Make sure that all staff is happy with the work. Yeah, you need to do motivations regularly. You need to ensure the project progress meeting is regularly uh, done. And the most important thing that so you need to create a good working environment. Yeah? So you need to have a contact with your staff, reduce the gap, and make sure that the project members is like family members. Okay. So in summary, the project closeout is very important to be taken care as to ensure smooth implementation of the application. Yeah. You do a software project. Some of other project, for example, civil projects. So I think the same process how to close out the project, but differently we are dealing with the digital things, yeah, hardware and software. So project closeout ensure the remaining deliverable are hand over to the customer, and project closeout provide checklist of completed and pending tasks or deliverable. The checklist is very important so that you can ensure what is still in pending, what is already delivered. Okay, to the end. So we finish our lecture for BITP 3223 for this semester. And then, of course, uh, the student will ask me about the final exam and final assessment. So, as I mentioned last time, I think at the beginning of the lecture, so we will do everything online. Yeah. So uh, the final project, need to be delivered in week 14. So the final exam and final assessment will be done in week 17. Yep. So we have two type of uh, examination or assessment, which is we call it the case study and final test. Yeah. So the case study will be done in 3rd of February. Yeah, 3 p.m. until 8 p.m. So this is take away of the exam. So we give you problems, then you need to deliver or you need to upload your solution within 5 hours. Yeah, we start 3 p.m. and we close the submission 8 p.m. Okay, and then the second is a final test, which is a multi choice of question. It's like a quiz that we done. So on 5th of February, yeah. So the time is 8 p.m. until 9 p.m. 1 hours of duration. So we got 30 to 40 question. All is all is objective. Objective is multi choice question. Yeah. Okay. So make sure that you deliver your project because the project is 30%. So I need to scrutinize your deliverable. Uh, the most important thing that's the team members. Yeah, I don't want a sleeping partner. So this is online. So I'm not sure whether the rest of the members are working together with the team to deliver the final project. So I need to interview each of the team leader, whether the project manager, whether the project members, not project manager, sorry, the project member contribute uh, to the assignment or the projects. Okay, class. This little bit about the final assessment and final exam. So I think you enjoy the subject, although we cannot see you face to face, and all the lecture is done online through my YouTube channel. So this is a way that we can do because this is a pandemic COVID-19 time. So we can do a physical lecture or physical laboratory. So I hope that all students increase or enhance their discipline. Yeah. Yes, I know that you go to my attendance, lab attendance or lecture attendance, and you just click, then you go away. Yeah. Or you run away. And then always I mention that the honesty is very important in your life, in our life. Yeah. So when I do a audit check, so the attendance is more than the view in the lecture or lab online. So this is very bad. Or this is very sad. Yeah. So you still have this honesty. Yeah. Although your age is already reached more reach 20 or more than 20, so you still got dishonesty. So this is a very sad news. And I'm here is not only to give the knowledge of the technology. So I'm here also train you become a trust people. Yeah. Become a good person in the life. Yeah. So although you are not physically with me, and then you can do everything in online. Yeah. But the God is always watching you. Yeah. So I think you after this class finish, and I think you go to another semester, uh, or you will get a new lecturer for the new subject. uh, but you need to bring this value, the value of uh, discipline, self-discipline, honest. And when you go to work, you got family, your own family. uh, the honesty, disciplinary is very important. Yeah, believe me, if you don't have this characteristic, so your life is very become difficult, I think. Yeah, and I hope that all of you here are very good in disciplinary and honest. So good luck for the final exam. See you later. If you got any question, please write in the comment. And if you like this video, you will think that this video is beneficial, and press like and share to your friend uh, in other university as well. Okay, see you later.